Ken Ball from CBC, and I'm back with Boss Moves and Benefits. And we're going to talk a little bit about a pretty unique product for us that has gained a lot of traction, one, and two, within the context of creating value, definitely creates a lot of value, and that is our consolidated billing product. So the concept is delivering a single invoice across all lines of coverages and vendors. Sounds pretty simple, can be complex, definitely saves time and money. So Robin, you want to kind of expand on that and where you see the value points?
Yes. So a couple things just to start, the big idea of it, if you've ever gone through a consolidated billing company, it is very tedious. And then the amount of data that you have to give a consolidated billing company to bill on those things, you're doing the majority of the work. They're just pulling it all together for you for like $1.50 ppm. Our approach is a little bit different. We have our own bin admin system. As long as it's our bin admin system, we don't have to go, interface with you or get any other data. If you're not in our bin admin system, because we're agnostic, if you're on Workday or ADP, UKG, you name it, we can ingest those elections and we can set up those plans in our system so we know the dollar value that curtails. So Ken said, we'll consolidate it all and give it to you. And that even means, for the tedious TPA ones that are one-offs, that you're paying, everything goes in one bill. Then from that point, we're going to swipe your bank account and then we're going to remit to all the carriers with the files that they need. And that is really tedious for employers because what a TPA needs as backup for your payment is different than what life or disability needs from their payment. They need like a consolidated volume by age bracket. And so you have your HR team or accounting team going through and creating all these backups, to be able to submit. We do all that for them. And then you have discrepancies, of course, right? So then the discrepancy management doesn't go back to accounting. It goes back to our office and we finalize all discrepancies. Another thing that's really difficult for HR, we're talking about, I would say our average consolidated bill is $800,000 a month. All of those discrepancies and adjustments that are done on somebody that, was on leave and then came back and then paid and then didn't, those are really difficult for somebody in HR or accounting to even see where there's issues. We're pros at it. We audit it every time. The adjustments are made in our system. The other difference is that we try to run the bill the first of the month, because if it's the first of the month, then we have far less discrepancies. So majority of bills, if you're getting a bill by a carrier or get billed by a TPA, they're going to bill you about 2 weeks prior to the effective date because they're expecting that they're going to get paid then earlier in that month. And so any termination that comes on from the 15th of the month to the 1st, you're paying for that premium, and then they'll make the adjustment the following month. So someone internally, if they're doing a good job at auditing those bills, are going to have to look for those adjustments, or you're not paying the bill accurately. So those are the big ideas. However, the bill that we present, finance loves because we'll serve that up however they like to see it. They might have different cost centers. We can do it by GL code. We can do by divisions, however they want to see that those premiums and those funds by that financial structure. We can support that structure. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, it is one of the more difficult things, I think, from a programmatic standpoint, because every single group is different. But the value of being able to see one consolidated bill that is audited the first of the month with less adjustments, and then summarized for you the way that you want to see it, we feel like it's a massive value.
No, I agree. I know we've taken over clients where we've done an audit of their current invoice. And it's been really difficult, even for us with all of our experience, going through and finding, hundreds of people who have terminated weeks or months ago that they're still on the invoice and nobody's caught them.
Mhm.
A lot of these invoices are sometimes provided in PDF format, so it's really hard for anyone to go through these invoices in line and put dates and then scan that and send it back. I mean, it sounds prehistoric, but it is. Some of these processes are very prehistoric. So I think our consolidated rail really helps them, and we take care of all of the adjustments. It's nothing that they have to do themselves.
So that kind of leads me back to something. I mean, and Robin hit on this, but I mean, frankly, it's easy for us to get into the weeds on any of these topics because this is what we live and breathe every day. But to go, I guess, from your perspective, I'm a CFO or I'm a director of finance. I've got a team of people. They're managing our finances and pay our bills every day. So in simple terms, like, what's the value back to the finance department?
Value is that you can focus your employees to work on other things and other initiatives other than having to comb through a PDF trying to find errors, which they typically don't find, or they don't have time to actually do it and pay the bill as is. So there's a lot to be gained by it. And I think as a CFO, you expect that those things are being done. But you're not going to go down there to check whether it's being done or not, but they're, most likely they're not. They're being ignored, and you're paying for these errors month after month.
Yep. Obviously, our primary goal is creating value for our clients, right? So we're doing that by serving up this single bill that's clean, that's audited, that has the backup that's required back to their departments.
Yep.
They're able to pay a single invoice. Whereas taking that it's a two-way street, because we are also now, and Robin began to hit on this, we're now paying out to several vendors, right? Could be TPA, PBM, stop loss carrier, life insurance carrier, disability carrier, voluntary carrier, etc.
COBRA, HSA, FSA.
Well, so
Voluntary
where I'm taking it is there's value there as well.
Mhm.
Oh, no,
right?
agreed.
Like those carriers and vendors are enjoying this product.
Oh yeah, I mean the carriers and vendors love it because they get the backup the way that they want it and wired within the same time frame every single month. So it's definitely a channel partner benefit. In fact, oftentimes they'll give us a reduced premium rates. I know the life and DI carriers, if we're going to do it and they feel comfortable that we're going to collect those funds and remit in that time frame, and we have a better advantage, to get a lower rate from a competitor that's not going to make that accounting easy for them. So that's definitely a huge piece of it.
It's a win-win from every aspect.
Yeah. I mean, and we talked about it on Boss Moves episode 2 that also we have real time what is paid, so when we're looking at budgets, we're not forecasting going because you had 100 employees at $20 a piece. This is what your fixed costs were. There weren't, we have the actual costs with the adjustments. And so we're able to do like a real time budget of everything that came out, everything that came in, by line of coverage, claims, fixed costs, and then what the net is. And then we just put a little sauce on it and, show you what you also collected in payroll deductions. So, the consolidated bill, if we didn't have that ability, it's one of the data points that we put in the data warehouse, then it's basically a projected cost. It's not a real cost.
Anything else to add on consolidated bills?
No, but Carol that works on this back at the office should be thrilled that we're pushing this. She's fantastic. Like we've never had the person that runs this department do any better, and so we're really, really proud of the work that she does. And she's a stickler for every single detail. So it's been a pleasure working with her.
I think what I would add, and this probably goes for most new opportunities or engagements that we encounter, is this is the best benefit that you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, our clients, of course, they need medical, they need PBM, they need all these other solutions. We're just telling them how we can do it better. But most of the time, this is, no, you do want this product because you don't understand how much easier it's going to make your life and how much it's going to save you in the long run.
Agreed. Make your finance team happy, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Another Boss Movement benefit. Thank you. Find us at cbcins.com.